Hey guys, I'm going to start writing again when I have a moment, but I just wanted to put a quick video out because obviously there's a lot going on, and I wanted to actually put my own thoughts down. I've put a few tweets out that kind of shape it, but nonetheless, you're seeing at the moment, obviously, the mass panic over US actions in Venezuela and now their threats towards Greenland and everything else. And you're seeing the usual suspects on Twitter banging the drum for defense and everything else. I just want to be clear about this. You can't fix our defense posture until you actually sort the economy. You can't sort the economy until you're willing to look at tax, energy, and regulation. But beyond even that, why would anyone go fight for this country at the moment? I mean, I'd fight for this country, but why would I fight for this country at the moment as it is? Where is the social contract? I mean, I get up every day and I work and I pay my taxes and I do everything that's required of me. And I just see a system that's designed to basically screw me into the ground, screw my family into the ground, whilst transferring ever more amounts of money to every shitty project that the elites can come up with, but also migrants, unemployed people, etc., etc. There is no social contract. And if there's no social contract, then there's no cross-generational contract either. You know, what are you fighting for at that point? But more than anything else is like, why would I trust the political class, who are for the most part incompetent at best and mendacious at worst, whose immediate response to everything is to try and sell this country out on everything, and I mean everything. Net zero isn't being done because it's great for us. It's being done to demonstrate to the world that it can be done. You know, the EU renegotiation isn't being done for us. It's being done for the Labour Party. Let's be honest about that. And so much more. So what kind of, example does that set to people, and why would they do these things? But actually, more than anything else, and this is something that I kind of have said on Twitter, is like, I'm not seeing anyone threatening us. Maybe threatening Ukraine, maybe threatening Eastern Europe, maybe threatening Denmark and Greenland. That's not threatening me. It's not threatening my country. Why am I supposed to care? Why? Why am I supposed to care? At what stage has any of these countries done anything for this country? In purely transactional terms. What have you done for us recently? Denmark particularly, what have you done for us? Nothing. Nothing. They've sat there quite happily and agreed with the EU trying to screw us into the ground. They've sat there quite happily and said nothing whilst the EU excluding us from military projects. Okay, that's the EU's right. But where is the quid pro quo? Why am I supposed to get panicky over Denmark? Why am I supposed to get panicky over the Baltics? Why do I care about these places? I don't. I can only care about places that show a modicum of interest back in my country. And none of them are showing any interest in my country. And this is, I think, the challenge that the political establishment are running into. This is the challenge that the security establishment are going to run into. That is simply the if you cannot motivate people like me, who fundamentally, even now, continues to be a relative internationalist in the sense that I believe that you should try and help out allies and friends and everything else. The problem is most of the allies that we have don't actually do anything for us. So they're not really allies. So why am I bothered by it? But why would I do this, go out of my way personally, when political class have basically destroyed the social contract in this country? Why would I even think it's even possible to rearm whilst they're deciding to shoot the country through the head economically with their retarded policies at home? This isn't hard. This is about as simple as it gets to understand. It really, really is. And as I said, if you can't make me motivated to do something, then what are you relying on the Europhile crowd to go crazy? I mean, that bunch of soy boys? Good luck. Don't forget, the majority of people, liberal Europhiles and everything else that bang on about these, the main reason they love it is to try and get away from the nation state. The main reason why most of Eastern Europe and other places love the EU, for example, is because it gives them free money. You're not going to get lots of people, these aren't people who are going to go and die for other countries and other things to support or to support the bloc. It's my side that would do that historically. And it's my side that's going to reject that now. And that's before you get to the elephant in the room, which is the complete breakdown of borders. Not even breakdown, that's a lie. The deliberate destruction of our migration system and borders under consecutive governments, which has led to such a change in this country that, again, why is my side that didn't want any of this supposed to go marching to the front to defend people that we don't care about, countries we don't care about, and to defend a load of people in this country we don't even want here? Again, that's a really tough point to make. I'm not saying, by the way, before the lunatics get involved, that every person here who has migrated here or whose family may have migrated here are bad and I want them gone. I'm not suggesting that. But there is a very large portion of this country, people here who hate this country, who are completely and utterly incompatible in this country, that, yeah, sure, I do want gone. I'm not going to argue about that. So why would I... What am I expecting to go marching to the front to defend everything and anything, but leave these people here because apparently they're all going to be nice to us? I hate to say it, but people like me, my side, and I hate that term, but people like me are far more concerned about the domestic security situation in this country and the mounting chances of some sort of societal breakdown than we are of Trump taking Greenland. Sure, I don't want it to happen, but what's the impact on me? Not much. I mean, seriously, what's the impact on me? But the impact on me from the point of view of what's being done to the economy, what's being done to the social contract, what's being done to our demographics is very profound and very real and very understandable here and now. And particularly as someone who, I have a 4-year-old who I adore, who now looks at the country that he's going to bequeath to his kid and just thinks, Christ alive, what do we do? That's the situation. That is the situation, and the clever people banging the drum for defence, the clever people banging the drum for the EU or our allies in Europe, etc., and everything else, need to start grasping this, because I don't think I'm alone in any meaningful way in having these thoughts. I don't think I'm alone in being worried about these things, and I don't think I'm alone in utterly rejecting the idea that I would pick up a gun and go fight in these terms. I just wouldn't. No. And if Louis, my son, was older, he wouldn't be doing that. So Westminster, the blob, the security apparatus, and everyone else needs to go and smoke something to wake themselves up and actually start engaging with what my side is starting to say. Because the other point is I'm not going to vote for parties that are going to spend a truckload on defence to go and stick 3 divisions in Eastern Europe. I'm not. Or in Greenland or anywhere else. Again, I have no interest in these places. It is nothing to do with me. If you want to go spend extra money on buying, 24 astute submarines so that no one can get anywhere near my country, yeah, good. I'm good with that. If you want to go build out the Navy, rapid reaction, if you want to go and build out a very large reserve force inside this country for domestic security reasons, I'm definitely good with that. But I'm not going to pay, and I'm not going to vote for anyone that expects me to pay to go defend other people. I'm just not. Anyway, that's a very blurry but hopefully pointed video. I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas and New Year. I will get back to writing and everything else. I just wanted to get this out. Thank you. Bye.